So if you got young kids, you definitely should be looking into a 529 plan in your state. Looking it up, figuring out, hey, is this something that is going to be something that we can participate in? Maybe you can't do $250 a month. But in our example, we put in $250 a month, and we basically had 3 years of their college paid for. I'm thinking them wealthy thoughts, baby. Everything about you. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, StephenMotivate, back again with another edition of Wealthy Thoughts. I'm your host, StephenMotivate, here with my co-host,
Steve James. What's up, brother?
Chilling, man. And I think that, I heard a crazy thing the other day. And the lady said that the wealth gap widened during the pandemic. And so what was you said, what did you say?
I said, and why would that be?
Well, the interesting thing about it is people got free money. Like over $2 trillion of free money was handed out to people. So people had money. And people think mostly that the problem that they have is money. If I only had more money.
Right.
But we learned in the pandemic, when you got more money, you didn't know what to do with it. Because the wealth gap actually got worse at a time where you were given free money. Blew my mind.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because it's like everybody always says, well, if I only had more money, But maybe it's not that you need more money. Maybe you need a better mindset. Because if you get the money with the wrong mindset, you're not going to have the money very long.
Right.
And so, I don't know exactly why that is. And we talk about it here a lot, but I want to give people specific things they can do for managing their money correctly, the money you do get, right? And so I want to look at today 529 plans. 529 plans, and what are they? Why should people be interested in them? Why does it matter? Because when we think about leaving a legacy and doing stuff for our children and doing stuff for our last name, as they say, what would our life have been like if we would have had $35 every month put into an account for us, or $100 every month put into an account for us ever since we was
shorties,
zero years old?
Yeah. Yeah. Different.
Yeah, exactly. A lot different. So how, we are the generation that can be different, right? Facts. So, but we got to have the information. What do you have for 529?
So, 529 account is a tax-free growth account. Earnings in a 529 account grow tax-free, meaning you won't pay federal taxes on withdrawals if they're used for qualified education expenses.
Yeah, good. So
strictly for education purposes.
And I think there might be some loops, but based on what the document says, strictly for education purposes. So you talk about, and I know a lot of people poo-poo school and why should you go to school and screw school and all that, but I went to school. You went to school. Yeah. So we can't go back in history and undo going to school.
Right.
We met in school.
Right.
So, all I can tell people is that it's done more good than harm for me.
For sure.
And if I could go through that period of my life and be completely debt-free, not even worried about money, not even worried about anything, I would do that. Yeah. And so I think our goal here is to just give people practical advice on how to get into that. So I want to go to the screen here and show people, okay, what does it look like? Like, what do you even type into Google? And so you could type what I had, setting up a 529 account for a child. You type that in, and we're in North Carolina, right? So you get a lot of different things that you can click on. How to open up a 529, ABCs of 529, step-by-step guide, et cetera, et cetera. How to pay for a baby's education with a 529 plan, how to start, da-da-da-da. Again, knowing you're going to waste the money anyway, why not put a little bit back for your children? Yep. You know what I'm saying? So let's let's just click on the first one, right? So if I click on this first one, it takes me to College Foundation NC 529 plan. All right, so if you want to know how to do this, they've got a whole website that breaks it down, talks about help them chase their brightest opportunities, do this for your shorties, change the, generational wealth gap by, starting now. Mm-hmm. So it says like, what is a 529 plan? It breaks all that down. But then what I like here is this calculator. So let's look at this. What education expenses does an NC 529 cover? So it says contributions to a 529 and earnings thereon can be used for a myriad of qualified educational expenses to light the way, such as college expenses, including tuition, book fees, room and board, and a computer and more. Career and technical education expenses, as long as the school is on the federal student aid list, as well as an apprenticeship program that are registered with the U.S. Department of Labor or state apprenticeship agency. So it don't even have to be like no big name school. It could be something a lot smaller.
Yeah. And it says, go ahead.
Go ahead. What you got?
No. It was just saying some 529 plans allow you to use funds for K through 12 tuition up to $10,000 per year, not just for college.
Boom. So I didn't even know that. So let's say you want to put your kid in private school, right? You like the private school better than the public, or let's say your kid is having issues at the public school because some of the kids is wilding out or distracting them. So now you've got a setup where you could pay for that private education. Mm-hmm. And now your kids are around the who's who of the city. The mayors, the doctors, the lawyers, the accountants, all these people, the CEOs. Your kids can be in those same rooms if you set up this type of plan for them. Mm-hmm. What other information you think is interesting over there?
It says, unlike other saving plans such as Roth IRAs, 529 plans do not have income restrictions, making them available to everyone.
That's good. So no income restrictions on it. Everybody can participate in it. And I guarantee you the wealthy are doing this.
100%.
If they're not doing this, they're doing something better than this. But the ones who are at a certain level are at least doing this. So it says,
this is good.
Go ahead.
If the original beneficiary doesn't use all of the funds, you can transfer the remaining balance to another family member without penalty.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Me neither. So you could, let's say if little Johnny don't want to go, or he used 2 years and he's like, school ain't really for me. Okay, cool. I saved up some money for you to do this.
Right.
You can transfer it to Johnny number 2 or Sally or whoever your son or daughter is. And I think, you can also do this for nieces and nephews. Mm-hmm. Anyone who can be another family member, it says?
Yeah, it says if the original beneficiary doesn't use you could transfer to another family member without penalty. I don't know. It doesn't break down.
Yeah, what type of?
If the family member is like your immediate family, if it could be a cousin or.
Yeah, we got to dig into that and see. But anyway, that's good. That gives people a little bit about what it is. I'm going to look up, see what it says, little known loopholes about that is. If you can change, try to get more information on that changing the beneficiary thing. But because I've heard of people doing interesting stuff with it. But okay, so that's that. You on the website. I like this 529 calculator, right? So that'll take you, I had already went to this. That'll take you to this. So it shows you kind of what state you're in. It's going to take you through some prompts. It'll ask you, how old your child is. None of my children are in kindergarten yet. They're all pre-K. It asks them your birth year, right? What's your student's grade level? Well, my oldest was born in 2020. So ask them what their current savings is. Let's say, just put in a number. What do you think people's current savings is for their children? Zilch.
1,500.
15. Okay, so maybe people have at least 1,500 saved for their kids. And then what do we think is a reasonable monthly contribution for them? The amount we plan to save per month. Let's just say
$250.
$250? Is that what you said?
Maybe. $250.
$250. All right, $250. That seemed like a nice number. $250 a month. Here's your kid. What college would the student like to attend? You go through that prompt. Say a national private, a national public, out of state, national public, 4-year, in-state. I would say whatever state you in-state's going to be the cheapest, I would imagine. Right, so at least that's how it used to be. And then what is your savings goal? Use the slider below to select the savings goal as a % of the estimated future cost of college. So it's not like you got to use this to pay for the whole thing, but it could
go towards it.
Yeah, go towards it. So what we think, like 60%? Let's say I help you with 60%. Let's see, view results. Okay, so click view results for your child 1, North Carolina, born in 2020. Personal expenses. So an average based on the financial aid office estimates of the amount needed by a student to cover expenses such as laundry, transportation, entertainment, furnishings, and similar expenses. While these costs are not paid directly to the college, they are expenses that students tend to incur and will vary from student to student. So now your whole college experience is different. Mm-hmm. They got you in here. They want to make sure your laundry's good, your transportation's good. You got entertainment. No, I have to have entertainment, of course. My furnishings, all of that. So that's a part of it. I got my books, and I got where I'm going to stay. My meals and where my accommodations are. All of that can be included. So they got a hypothetical inflation rate. So they say tuition is going to inflate by 3%. And so they saying the future cost is going to be $155,000. Wow.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
And so this says qualified family members include siblings, including siblings, parents or step-parents, children, including stepchildren, first cousins, aunts, uncles, and in-laws, grandparents, or grandchildren.
Everybody can benefit from
this flexibility makes 529 plans a valuable tool for family education savings. Since the funds can be used for other relatives, its circumstances change.
This is a gold mine.
Yeah.
If Granny wants to go back to school, we got you.
She can.
And the thing of it is, we need to know so many things that which we're learning.
Right.
So this is how the wealthy think. They start realizing, well, the bigger I get in business, I need a lawyer. Mm-hmm. The bigger I get in business, I need an accountant.
Yeah.
You know, we need a doctor to know if these people is really giving us the right medicine and if they really treating us right. Yep. So if I could go if I can save, if everybody can save, and we can have a family basically foundation account for educational expenses.
Yeah.
And now it's like the step cousins, sisters, brothers, nephew can use it. That's because
they mentioned everybody.
Yeah, they literally mentioned everybody in the possible family tree.
So it says the estate planning benefits. Contributions to a 529 plan can be considered gifts for tax purposes. And you can contribute up to $85,000 or $170,000 if married in a single year without triggering federal gift taxes, making it useful estate planning tool. That's crucial.
So if you're trying to, your estate is worth the amount of money, you can gift it. That's what they're saying.
Well, no, they're saying that basically you can, if you're married, 170 is what you can contribute in a single year.
Wow.
So you can't go over that. So 85 for someone that's single, or 170 if you're married.
So
basically 170,000 a year. But how would they? Let me see.
But your estate would be that's for somebody who's really rich, and their estate is worth so much that they want to offload pieces of the estate,
right?
So they don't have to give that money to the government. Yeah. So that's a major play. So if you're doing that, then you can use a 529 plan to basically give out gifts without triggering a tax.
Yeah, that's crucial.
That's super crucial. Definitely didn't know that at all. So let's go back to this really quick. So you talking about we're gonna save $250 a month. We started with $1,500. They saying your rate of return is 6%. So roughly, wow. So future college savings, you're going to get to $68,000 doing it this way. So, yeah, by 2038, you're going to have $22,341 saved for that. Okay, so they're saying by the time the kid's 18 years old in 2038, if they was born in 2020, they'll have 22 grand to go to school with. By the next year in 2039, they'll have 23 grand. By the third year, they'll have another 23 grand still. And they'll be off by about $600. And then that last year. So you mean you could basically tell your kid, I can pay for your your freshman, sophomore, and junior year. By your senior year, you're on your own.
You're on your own.
But that's a major difference.
Yeah, kid, that's a major difference.
So now
you can imagine only having to pay 1 year of tuition.
Exactly. You're out of debt like that.
Immediately.
You could have been out of debt when you was at 22. Man. When did you pay off your student loans? In your 30s? I'm still paying on mine, so
I definitely. Well, no, I mean, it's 2000 and probably like 15 years, so I was in my 30s. Early 30s for sure.
Yeah, that's powerful. So you're talking about another 10 years added to your ability to maneuver without student loans just by doing a 529 plan.
Mm-hmm.
This is the game, y'all. This is what the rich are doing. You don't take the money when it's given to you and just go blow it and spend it back in the economy. You take it and you put it towards the right things. Your legacy being one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Put it towards your future. It's not even if you have kids, apparently. It's
right.
If you got anybody in your family. Maybe your girl wants to go to college. Maybe your mom wants to go. Maybe you got a niece, nephew, a cousin, sister, brother, stepsister, all of that. Like, no one's going to deny the fact that, school can only do so much for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to make you rich to go to school. We get that. But the network you can get going to school and the things you can learn and the fact you might be able to do it without paying and you can get a tax break while you're saving.
Major
keys. Wealthy thoughts. This is what people are doing with their bread. So if you got young kids, you definitely should be looking into a 529 plan in your state. Looking it up, figuring out, hey, is this something that is going to be something that we can participate in? Maybe you can't do $250 a month. But in our example, we put in $250 a month and we basically had 3 years of their college paid for.
Mm-hmm.
Lowering the amount of student loans, and at the end of the day, it's lowering that wealth gap. It's closing that gap, not immediately, but indirectly by allowing that young person to go into the world without the heavy weight of, man, I got all this student loan debt. I can't even start doing real estate.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even be entrepreneurial because I gotta get me a job and be, so I have to be, kind of restricted in my ability. So I think about, man, what could folks do if they started to save? How much more further could Black people especially be further along if they knew where to put their money?
Yep. So I just had to look up my email because I was like, when did I pay off my loan? March 5th, 2019.
2019. Wow.
Yeah.
And we graduated school in 2008. So 11 years after school.
11 years.
And I'm still paying.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I'm now almost, 2008 is, what is that? It's not quite.
16 years.
16 years. 16 years since I got out of school and I'm still paying student loans. And I love my parents. They did the best they could with what they had. But for us who have the knowledge now, what you gonna do with it?
We have to change the narrative. That's it.
That's it.
We can't allow our kids to go down the path and be paying loans for 20 plus years.
You literally can set them up and it's gonna benefit you from a tax standpoint today.
Yep.
Yeah, you're going to have less money to get that to waste on Starbucks. But Starbucks got enough money.
For sure.
You don't have to keep, they lights are still going to be on if you don't get that coffee tomorrow.
Yep.
You don't have to worry about.
You need to be buying your coffee from the local coffee shops anyway.
Exactly. Support local. But if everybody, well, they really do need your support. But the rest of these big brands that we all love, the Dove soaps, the Nike shoes, the whoever else you want to come up with, like they're good.
Yeah.
You're going to have to find a way to put some money towards your children and towards their education and towards their future.
Yeah.
If you really want to be wealthy and change. People always talk about, we're going to create generational wealth, but you still wasting your money every week. So it's like we talked about last week, like it's not about just talk.
Right. Doing.
What Chief say? I ain't really with that talk. I'm about that action. Mm-hmm. You got to take that action. 529 plans, man.
For sure. Get with it.
Get with it or get lost.
And acorns.
Acorns, and that's a whole nother topic because you can do let's just look that up really quick.
You can do an education with that too.
Yeah, but what is that called? That's called a UGA account. I think it's called a UGA account. What is the difference between?
I mean, acorns you can just use towards. They can use it towards anything. It's not directed for education,
right? But it's called a UGA account. Where's 529 for focus on education, but the main difference between a uniform gift or uniform. Okay, so the UGMA account and UTMA account, these accounts are custodial accounts that allow parents, guardians, or other adults to transfer assets to a minor. The funds can be used for anything that benefits the child, not just education.
Yeah.
Once the child reaches the age of majority, typically 18 or 21, depending on the state, they gain control of the assets. So that's what a UGMA and UTMA account is, which is what Acorns is a site. We'll show you that at another time where, really I can show it to you now. It is a site that allows you to dive into that as well. Like if you Google Acorns, we'll try to put a link down in the show notes too, but it is a way to save money.
It's very crucial,
super crucial.
And you can have your family. You can have your family instead of for holidays and birthdays. Instead of them buying them gifts,
right?
They can gift them their Acorns account.
Exactly,
which should be done. I'm telling my people, like, do not buy no gifts.
No more toys.
Send them money to their Acorns account.
They don't need that. Nobody cares about them toys. Them kids don't care about.
They don't care about the
my
toys.
Room. My kids have a room full of toys
and that they don't play with.
My nieces did the same thing 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Room full of toys, and what is that going to do for them when they 18?
Nothing.
Nada. What was the other point on that? I done lost.
You logged. What did you do?
On the 529, I just wanted to see the difference. Like they had said, basically, I wanted to see. So 529 is specifically designed for educational related. Yep, to your point. The funds can now also be used for K through 12, which we talked about, and up to $10,000 to repay student loans. And did we read that? The funds can now also be used for K through 12 private school tuition up to $10,000 per year, and up to $10,000 to repay student loans.
I didn't see that part.
Wow. So the 529 plan can also be used to repay student loans, which means you can still get student loans as well. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It offers less flexibility compared to the UGMA. Okay.
So basically you should have both. You should have a 529 and you should have a just a regular custodian account.
Yeah, the UGMA one as well.
UGMA. Acorns. ACCORNS.
Yeah.
Acorns.
Acorns. You can set up that Uniform Gifts to Minors Act, which is why it's UGMA, or Uniform Transfer to Minors Act. The other key difference is they do get control of the UGMA account.
At 18.
At 18. But the 529 plan, the account is owned by the person who set it up. And they maintain control over the funds even after the child turns 18. So the owner can decide if they want to change the beneficiary to another family member, or if
so they basically just keep their power of attorney of that account.
Exactly, is what it sounds like. Now, once it's used, obviously it's gone. But But like you said, that could be a whole play for a family to like make sure that we're getting our 529 set up. So anybody who needs education, the new kids that come in, we got you.
Yep.
And you don't got to worry about, being in debt.
Man, the fact that you can use that for private school is crazy.
Yeah, K through 12.
Because then that's like,
how does that even work? Because I mean,
but when would you even be able to invest enough? K through 12. I mean, what they?
I mean, that means you got a bag. That's
right.
for people who got a bag.
Yeah, they already putting up a big bag.
And they got a big bag, and it's like instead of me just paying the bill, I'm going to put it in the account
so that
tax free, and then pay the bill.
Yeah,
so now it lowers my tax liability.
Ooh, that's crucial.
And I get to put my kid in private school.
Yeah, that's crucial.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Me neither. We just put ourselves on game. The beauty of wealthy thoughts.
Wealthy thoughts.
Because wow.
Yeah, do your research. Next bag I get, kids is gonna be right in there with the Obamas. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. It's your boy StephenMotivate.
Steve James, y'all. Peace.
Peace. I'm thinking them wealthy thoughts, baby.